All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. And Shalom to the hopeful elect on the highways and byways pushing the truth. It's your brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with another lesson. Lord willing, it's edifying. Started a little late today. I don't even know when I'm gonna start, but I wanted to make sure I still got out here just to do the work. All right. Matter of fact, start off in the book of Matthew. Matthew 28. Let's start at Matthew 28 and verse 16. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 28 and verse 16. Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, into a mountain where Yahweh Shai had appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Yahweh Shai came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Okay, so that's a commandment by Yahweh Shai that we got to go teach all the nations, okay? And all those nations is talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? Yahweh Shai didn't want us to go teach all the nations, okay? He didn't want to go, for us to go teach the Russians, go teach the Chinese, the Arabs, okay? Because he knew that y'all was scattered abroad, okay? When you jump over the, just to prove that, jump over to Matthew, the 10th chapter. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 5. These 12 Yahweh Shai sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles. Okay, why would he tell them not to go in the way of the Gentiles? Because this word is not for them. This word is for Israel. Okay, more importantly, the elected Israel. Okay, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Now, why would he say don't go into the city of the Samaritans? Okay, because Samaria was predominantly occupied by Gentiles, by heathens, okay? The northern kingdom was taken out of Israel, okay, by the Assyrians, okay? Shalmaneser V, I believe, all right? So those Assyrians sent heathens over into the land of Israel. That's why Yahweh Shai said don't go into the land, don't go into the Samaritans, Salakia, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, okay? He told them to go to the Israelites and teach them this word, okay, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He didn't have them go into the Gentiles, just like we read in Matthew, the 28th chapter. As a matter of fact, let's start at 1. Matthew 10 and 1. And when he had called them, and when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. That's why brothers are on the highways and byways now, because our people are sick. They don't know who they are. They're blind, okay? They ain't walking the right path. They're lame, all right? And the Lord gave his prophets, those disciples, the ability to cast out these devils. Because if you blind and you don't know who you are, it's because you got a demon on you, okay? The demons are on you, man. And they're there to persuade you out of the way of the light. Verse 2, Matthew 10:2, now the names of the 12 apostles are these: the first Simon, who was called Peter, and Andrew his brother, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the publican, James the son of Alphaeus and Lebbaeus, whose surname was Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanite, and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him. That's why I said in Matthew the 28th chapter, the 11 disciples, all right? Because later on, you're going to find out that Judas Iscariot betrayed the Lord, okay? Let's keep going. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not ye into the way of the Gentiles, all right? That was a commandment not to teach the Gentiles, okay? The heathen, okay? And that just proves in Matthew the 28th chapter that Yahushua was only trying to, only teaching to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, okay? And why were they lost? You got to know about the Greek captivity, okay? They didn't allow Israel to say that they were Israel. It was illegal for you to say you were a Jew, okay? And this is the first captivity that we're in that we didn't know we was Israel. In Babylon, we knew we were Israel. In Assyria, they knew they were Israelites, all right? The Greeks knew they were Israelites, but then over time, they lost those customs, all right? Over time, they because of the laws that were put in place, they weren't allowed to say who they truly were, okay? And that's going into the mystery of the Gentiles, all right? And you got to think about it. Now we live in a time where everybody think that the Lord is white, okay? They don't know the Lord, okay? That's why the Lord sends his prophets out here to teach the word. They think you're joking around or you're fooling around. You know, they think you're blaspheming. But those same things happen to the prophets, okay? The Sadducees and Pharisees, they thought Yahushua was blaspheming, okay? They thought Stephen was blaspheming, all right? Even when Moses first had the name, they didn't want to accept him, all right? They thought, who made you judge over us, okay? The Lord made him a judge over you. Okay, because the Lord was dealing with him. All right. Matthew 10:7. And as ye go preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand, heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Okay. Freely ye have received, freely give.
Bible.
Yeah. I'm sorry? Pedro?
I need the Bible, la Biblia, I need. No American.
Let me get it translated.
tomorrow? You here tomorrow. I but very sweet also here. Pedro.
Okay.
Pedro.
What's your nationality? Dominicano? Okay.
Yeah.
Israel.
No Dominica. Dominica.
Yeah. Jacob, let me see Jacob in Spanish. Simeon, Dominicana. Okay. Simeon, Dominicano. Dominicano, Simeon. Yeah, you Pedro. Come tomorrow. Get somebody coming.
Tomorrow, every place I pass. You here. Pedro pasa, Pedro. Tomorrow, Saturday. No,
Friday, don't come here Friday, Saturday.
you here only
Friday, Saturday.
Saturday?
Saturday. Okay, Papa? Okay, Papa.
I see you later.
All right, Papa. You know, the app didn't want to work, man. I was trying to tell Jake he's Simeon, but now the app don't want to work because of Satan, man. All right? But what I was telling him is that, you know, we're the Israelites, man. Okay? Okay, now where was I? You know what? Let's jump over to Acts, the 6th chapter. Okay? Actually, let me start here. This is the book of Acts, chapter 6 and verse 1. And in those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews, because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. Then the 12 called the multitude of the disciples unto them and said, it is not reason that we should leave the word of the Most High and serve tables, okay? So we had the uncircumcised and the circumcised, all right, coming up to the temple, and they were, and the widows were there, and they thought that the Israelite women who were there were being treated than the Gentiles, okay, which are the Israelite foreigners, all right. So there was a murmuring going on, okay. There was complaining going on. The 12 called the multitude of the disciples unto them and said, it is not reason that we should leave the word of the Most High and serve tables, okay? And that doesn't necessarily mean that they were actually serving tables, but they had a small, they didn't have enough laborers to fulfill all the work, you know? They weren't able to tend to everyone's needs as efficient as everybody wanted them to, okay? So they thought that with their time, they were neglecting the Gentile widows, okay? Neglecting the needs of the Gentile widows. Acts 6:3, wherefore, brethren, look, ye out among you 7 men of honest report, full of the Holy Spirit and wisdom, whom we may appoint over this business, okay? So they're looking for somebody that can tend to the needs of the widows, okay? And any other murmurings that they were going through. But we will give ourselves continually to prayer and to the ministry of the word. Okay, the 12 says we're gonna give ourselves to this word. That's more important. Okay, is pushing this word. All right. And the saying pleased the whole multitude, and they chose Stephen, a man full of faith and of the Holy Spirit, and Philip, and Prochorus, and Nicanor, and Timon, and Parmenas, and Nicholas, a proselyte of Antioch, whom they set before the apostles. And when they had prayed, they laid their hands on them. And the word of the Most High increased, and the number of the disciples multiplied in Jerusalem greatly. And a great company of the priests were obedient to the faith. And Stephen, full of faith and power, did great wonders and miracles among the people. Now, Stephen wasn't an apostle. Stephen wasn't a disciple, okay? But the Lord can use whoever he wants to use to go push his word and to do his will, all right? This is the book of Acts, chapter 6:6, whom they set before the apostles, and when they had prayed, they laid their hands on them. And the word of the Most High increased, and the number of the disciples multiplied in Jerusalem greatly, and a great company of the priests were obedient to the faith. And Stephen, full of faith and power, did great wonders and miracles among the people. Then there arose certain of the synagogue, which is called the synagogue of the Libertines and Cyrenians and Alexandrians, and of them of Cilicia and of Asia, disputing with Stephen. And they were not able to resist the wisdom in the spirit by which he spake. When they suborned him, when they suborned men, which said, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against the Most High. So they're lying about him, man. Okay? Here it is. He's preaching the truth, but they're calling it blasphemous. Okay? Just like now when you tell them that the Lord was actually dark. Okay? As if he burnt in a furnace. They consider that blasphemy. See, that's what's wrong with our people. They believe the lie is the truth and the truth is the lie. That's because of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, perpetuating his blasphemies throughout the whole earth. He's the biggest blasphemer, okay? But y'all didn't believe then anyway, all right? It's the book of Acts, chapter 6 and 10. And they were not able to resist the wisdom in the spirit by which he spake. Then they suborned men, which said, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against the Most High, okay? Why? Because he was telling them that Yahweh Shah was greater than Moses. But they believed that Moses was the greatest, okay? They didn't believe someone came that was greater than him, all right? But Yahweh Shah was greater than Moses, okay? But they consider that to be blasphemous, all right? Actually, it gives me a precept. Let me jump over there real quick, see what the Bible's telling me. It's giving me Acts 5 in verse 39. Let me jump over there. Acts 5 and 39. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against the Most High. And that's exactly what they were doing. Okay, they weren't really fighting or bucking up against Stephen, because Stephen was filled with faith and the Holy Spirit. Okay, and they couldn't overcome what he was saying. All right, so they started to create lies and try to make it look like he was blaspheming. All right, against Moses and the Most High. Okay. Acts 6 and 10. And they were not able to resist the wisdom in the spirit by which he spake. Then they suborned men, which said, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against the Most High. And they stirred up the people and the elders and the scribes, and came upon him and caught him and brought him to the council. So they locked him up, man. Okay? They locked him up. Okay? And set up false witnesses, which said, this man ceaseth not to speak blasphemous words against this holy place and the law, talking about the temple, okay? And yeah, he must have been talking good shit about the temple, because he knew that Herod was a convert. He was a pagan, all right? That same temple that's there today, okay? That was built. He expanded Jerusalem. He expanded the church. And he was telling him that the Lord's more mightier than that church, and that this word was more mightier than that church. Okay? Acts 6 and 14, for we have heard him say that this Yahushua Nazareth shall destroy this place and shall change the custom which Moses delivered us. Okay, it's giving me a precept on Acts 20, the 25th chapter. Let me jump over there. Because Yahushua did say, he was talking about his body, that if you destroy this temple, he'll raise it up in 3 days. But they were probably trying to flip that on him, trying to say that he was like a terrorist trying to destroy the temple. Okay, this is Acts 25 and 8. While he answered for himself, neither against the law of the Jews, neither against the temple, nor yet against Caesar have I offended anything at all. Okay. Salakia, this is the book of Acts chapter 6 and 13. And set up false witnesses, which said, this man ceaseth not to speak blasphemous words against the holy place and the law, talking about Moses in the temple. Okay. For we have heard him say that this Yahushua Nazareth shall destroy this place and shall change the customs which Moses delivered us. But these were false witnesses claiming that he said this. All right. Verse 15, and all that sat in the council, looking steadfastly on him, saw his face as it had been the face of an angel, because he had the wisdom on him, okay? He had the Holy Spirit on him, all right? They looked upon him and they knew, they saw his countenance, man. He was bold in the spirit, man. And I love bringing it up because Stephen wasn't an apostle. He wasn't a disciple. He was there to help with the need, and he was all for it. Okay, he was all for playing his part and helping the ministry. It's the book of Acts 7 and 1. Then said the high priest, are these things so? And he said, men, brethren, and fathers, hearken. The Most High of glory appeared unto our fathers Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia before he dwelt in Haran. Okay, yeah, because what the Lord tell Abraham, okay? Actually, give me the precept. What's that? Genesis, the 11th chapter. Let me jump over there real quick. It might be 11. It might be 12 too. It might be 12. Let me jump over there real quick. Let me see for 12. I think it's 11. All right. Abram's call. Okay. Let's see. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 11 and verse 31. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, his son's son, and Sarai, his daughters-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan, and they came unto Haran, and dwelt there. Okay, so the Lord told Abram to go to Canaan, and Abram went and grabbed everybody and went to Haran. Okay, so Haran, I don't know where Haran is geographically, but let me pull that up. Book of Genesis 11. Let's see if it gives me the location. Because this is what Stephen's talking about. It says Mountaineer, okay? A city which Abram migrated when he left Ur of the Chaldees and where he stayed until his father died, before leaving for the Promised Land, located in Mesopotamia in Padan Aram, at the foot of Mount Meses, between the Kabor and the Euphrates. Okay, so somewhere in between Mesopotamia and Canaan. Acts 7:3, and said unto him, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred, and come into the land which I shall shew thee. Okay, yeah, he wasn't even supposed to bring his father and everybody else. He was supposed to go. All right, showing you that he ain't fully obeyed the Lord's command. Acts 7:4, then came he out of the land of the Chaldeans and dwelt in Haran, and from thence, when his father was dead, he removed him into this land wherein ye now dwell. Okay, and now it gives you the precept, but let me jump over to Genesis, the 12th chapter. All right, Genesis 12. This is 4 through 5. Let me just read that. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 4. So Abram departed as Yahweh had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came. Okay, that's the precept for that. This is the book of Acts 7:5, and he gave him none inheritance in it. No, not so much as to set his foot on. Yet he promised that he would give it to him for possession and to his seed after him, when as yet he had no child. So the Lord made a promise with him before there was a temple, okay? Before there was Jacob, before there was a seed, before he even had a son to pass the inheritance, the Lord made this promise to Abraham, okay? And Stephen's reminding this multitude, this crowd, the elders, okay, the high priest, of the origins of Israel, okay? Acts 7:6, and the Most High spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage and entreat them evil 400 years. Okay, that's talking about the captivity in Egypt. We spent 400 years there. Okay, but a lot of people might think, you know, it's always been a misconception that the transatlantic slave trade was fulfilling this prophecy. Okay, but that prophecy was already fulfilled under Pharaoh. Okay, in Egypt, I should say, Salakia. All right. Even though we came here on slave ships in 1619, what is it, 2024, a little over 400 years we've been here, and we're still in captivity, but it's not talking about that. It's the book of Acts 7:7, and the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge, talking about the Egyptians, said the Most High, and after that shall they come forth and serve me in this place. Give me another precept, okay? But he's talking about the children of Israel leaving the land of Egypt. He's giving me the book of Exodus chapter 3 and verse 12. And he said, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee when thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt. Ye shall serve the Most High upon this mountain, okay? Let's keep going. Acts 7:8, and he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And so Abraham begot Isaac and circumcised him the 8th day, and Isaac begot Jacob, and Jacob begot the 12 patriarchs, okay? And that circumcision was a way of keeping the covenant or following the law. Okay, and if you could receive it, Isaac was Yahushua in a reincarnation, or Isaac, Yahushua was Isaac in the reincarnation. Okay, so the first person to be circumcised was the Lord. Okay, and he also was circumcised again when he was born. And let me grab that precept. What is that? It's Luke 2:21. Let me just get that out on my phone. Okay, because what that's going to do is it's going to show us that another indication that Isaac was actually Yahushua, or Yahushua was Isaac. It's the book of Luke. Hold on. It's the book of Luke, chapter 2, and verse 21. And when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcising of the child, his name was called Yahushua, which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb. And when the days of her purification according to the law of Moses were accomplished, they brought him to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord. As it is written in the law of the Lord, every male that openeth the womb shall be called holy unto the Lord. Okay, but at the same time, when Abraham circumcised Isaac, Moses wasn't even thought of. All right, Moses didn't come until later. All right, but Abraham, well, that's where the covenant was given. But it was an oral covenant that the Lord made with Abraham. All right. It's the book of Acts, chapter 7, and verse 9. And the patriarchs, which are the sons of Jacob, okay, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar, those are the patriarchs, okay, that the promises were supposed to be given to after the death of Jacob. All right. That it was going to be passed on to his seed so he could keep that covenant that he made with Abraham. It's the book of Acts 7 and 10. And delivered him out all his afflictions, and gave him favor and wisdom in the sight of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he made him governor over Egypt in all his house. That's talking about Joseph. Okay? The Lord had his brothers send him into slavery. He sold him to an Arab, and he went into Egypt. But the Lord was with him, and he exalted him in his captivity under Pharaoh. Okay? Acts 7 and 11. Now there came a dearth over all the land of Egypt and Canaan, and great affliction, and our fathers found no sustenance. But when Jacob heard that there was corn in Egypt, he sent out our fathers first. Actually, let me jump over there. Genesis 41 and 37. I want to get all these precepts while I can, man. Genesis 41, and these are just precepts that are in my Bible. Okay, Lord will, it's edifying and it's bringing out the point. Genesis 41 and 37. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as the Most High has showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you. Okay, so only one that was greater than Joseph was Pharaoh himself. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him, bow the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. Okay? Even though Pharaoh did it, it's really the Lord that used Pharaoh to exalt Joseph. Okay? It wasn't Pharaoh. Pharaoh ain't got no damn power, man. That's what you're trying to get through your head. The Lord got all the power, man. If he want to exalt you, he going to exalt you. Even in your captivity, even in a famine. And this new famine that's coming, there's going to be a time, you don't know what the Lord's going to do during that time. All right? He might put somebody in place, an Israelite elect, all right, that might feed his brothers. He might have it that way. He's done it before. This is the book of, actually, did I finish that? He said go to 42 and 6. Hold on, let me grab this other precept. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 42 and verse 6. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, whence come ye? And they said, from the land of Canaan to buy food. Okay, so this is the account when his brothers first saw him, they didn't recognize him. All right? He was exalted. They didn't know what to do, man. They had to bow their head, fulfilling the prophecy that he told them about before he went into slavery. Okay? So Joseph knew this was all the works of the Lord. Hold on, let's give me another precept. Let me jump over there. 41 and 54. It's the book of Genesis 41 and verse 54. And the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said, and the dearth was all in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt was there bread. Salakia, there was bread. Okay? So that's what made Jacob send his sons into Egypt. All right, in search of bread. Because there was a dearth, there was a famine in all the land. So he sent his sons into Egypt seeking bread. Okay, and during that time, all that missed time, the Lord was cultivating Joseph to be high, exalted in the land of Egypt. All right, this is the book of Acts 7 and 12. But when Jacob heard that there was a corn in Egypt, he sent out our fathers first. Okay, let me go grab that. Genesis 42 and 1. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, why do ye look one upon another? And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get ye down thither and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. Okay? So he sent his sons, like I just said. Okay? Acts 7 and 13. And at the second time Joseph was made known to his brethren, and Joseph's kindred was made known unto Pharaoh. Then sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him, and all his kindred, 75 souls. Okay, let me go grab that. Book of Genesis 45 and verse 9. Haste ye and go up to my father and say unto him, thus saith thy son Joseph, the Most High hath made me Lord of all Egypt. Come down unto me, tarry not, and thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen, and thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flocks, and thy herds, and all that thou hast. Okay? And he said, jump down to 27. Genesis 45 and 27. 45 and 27. Genesis 45 and 27. And they told him all the words of Joseph which he had said unto them. And when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob, their father, revived. Okay? Ooh. All right. Acts 7 and 15. So Jacob went down into Egypt and died, he and our fathers. Okay, let me go grab that. Genesis 46 and 5. And Jacob rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried Jacob their father and their little ones and their wives in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. And they took their cattle and their goods which they had gotten in the land of Canaan and came into Egypt, Jacob and all his seed with him. Okay. This is 49 and 33. Let's go there. Let's see what that says. Genesis 49:33. And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet into the bed and yielded up the ghost and was gathered unto his people. So Jacob died. Okay? Jacob died. Exodus 1 and 6. One more precept. Book of Exodus 1 and 6. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. Okay? Back into Acts 7 and 16. And were carried over into Sichem and laid in the sepulchre, talking about everyone died, that Abraham bought for a sum of money of the sons of Emor, the father of Sichem. But when the time of the promise drew nigh, which the Most High had sworn to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt, till another king arose, which knew not Joseph. The same dealt subtly with our kindred, and evil entreated our fathers, so that they cast out their young children to the end that might not live. In which time Moses was born, and was exceeding fair. And nourished up in his father's house 3 months. Okay, he's giving me a precept, Exodus 2 and 2. Now, I hope I'm not going too far off, okay? Because at this time, the high priest is talking to Stephen, okay? And he's telling him the history of Israel, okay? Not that he didn't know what the history of Israel was, but he's reminding him of everything to make a point, okay? What's that? Where am I? Salakia. Exodus 2 and 2, it says. Exodus 2 and 2, and the woman conceived and bare a son, and when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done of him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. So when Moses' mother put him in the riverbank, there were alligators, man. He could have died in that water, okay? But the Lord directed him over to Pharaoh's daughter. It was all part of the Lord's plan, all right? Nothing is by coincidence. That's what Stephen's trying to show this man, all right? It's the book of Acts 7 and 22, and Moses was learned in the wisdom of the Egyptians and was mighty in words and in deeds. Let me grab this. This is the book of Luke 24 and 19. It's the book of Luke 24 and 19. And he said unto them, what things? And they said unto him concerning Yahushua Nazareth, which was a prophet, mighty indeed, and word before the Most High and all the people, and how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death and have crucified him. Okay. Acts 7 and 23, and when he was full 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. Let me go grab that. It's Exodus 2 and 11. Exodus 2 and 11. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied on Egyptians smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. Okay, so Moses slew the Egyptian for fighting one of his brethren. Okay. Acts 7 and 24, and seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended him and avenged him that was oppressed and smote the Egyptian. For he supposed his brethren would have understood how that the Most High by his hand would be deliver them. Salakia would deliver them, but they understood not. And the next day he showed himself unto them as they strove, and would have set them at one again, saying, Sirs, ye are brethren, why do ye wrong one another, one to another? So book of Exodus, give me another precept. Jump there real quick. Book of Exodus 2:13. And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, who made thee a prince and judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me, as thou killest the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known. Okay, so he slew that Egyptian for messing with one of the Hebrews. Okay, one of his brethren. Moses knew who his brethren was. Moses knows everybody ain't his brother. He knows all these nations ain't his brother. Why do you Israelites not know that? Okay, he fought for you. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you forgot? You forgot you made a covenant with the Lord? It's the book of Acts, chapter 7 and verse 25. For he supposed his brethren would have understood how that the Most High by his hand would deliver them, but they understood not. And that's what they said. They said, were you the judge over us? Were you going to kill me too like you killed that Egyptian? Okay, they were gossiping. Okay, he just killed one of these dudes and they gossiping about it. So he knew he had to get up out of Egypt. All right? It's the book of Acts 7 and 26. And the next day he showed himself unto them as they strove, and would have set them at one again, saying, Sirs, ye are brethren, why do ye wrong one to another? But he that did his neighbor wrong thrust him away, saying, who made thee a ruler and judge over us? Okay, it's giving me a precept in Acts, the 4th chapter. And this is what Stephen was telling his fellow Israelites, all right? And they stoned him to death for telling them the truth, okay? And he, like I said, he wasn't an apostle. He wasn't a disciple. The Lord just chose him, all right? But y'all so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all the ones who stoned him, all right? He was being stoned for the words that I'm saying right now out of the Bible. It's the book of Acts, chapter 7. Actually, let me jump over to Acts, the 4th chapter. Okay? It's the book of Acts, chapter 4 and verse 7. And when they had set them in the midst, they asked, by what power or by what name have ye done this? I don't care. I don't know what that precept is getting into. Oh, okay. Because he's asking, why do you think you the judge over us? Okay, and then actually saying, by what power and what name? Okay, I got to get more into that account. I don't know, but it's in Acts 4 why that was said. But that was the precept for that. I'm just grabbing it out the Bible. Okay, Acts 7 and 28. Wilt thou kill me as thou didst the Egyptian yesterday? Then fled Moses at this saying, and was a stranger in the land of Midian, where he begot 2 sons. Okay, let me jump back over to Exodus, the 2nd chapter, in verse 15. So, Exodus 2 and 15. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. When he heard that Moses slew one of the Egyptians, all right, Pharaoh sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. And when they came to rule their father, he said, how is it that ye are come so soon today? And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock, okay? Why did they mistake Moses as being an Egyptian? Because Moses was black. He was dark. How can you be mistaken for an Egyptian? Don't you know that the Egyptians came from the line of Ham? Those are Africans, the Hamites, okay? The Egyptians. You so-called African Americans, y'all ain't no Africans. And you damn sure ain't no Americans. All right, we're the Israelites. It's the book of Acts chapter 7 and verse 29. And then fled Moses at this saying, and was a stranger in the land of Midian, where he begat 2 sons. All right, it's giving me a precept. Exodus 2 and 22. And it came to pass in the process of time that the king of Egypt died. Talking about Pharaoh. And the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried, and their cry came up unto the Most High by reason of the bondage. And the Most High heard their groaning, and the Most High remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and Jacob, okay? He got a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not the whole world, all right? Not everybody's in covenant with the Lord, okay? Contrary to popular belief. This promise went to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and then the patriarchs, okay? Which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? The book of, actually, let me go jump over to Exodus, the 4th chapter, and verse 20. This is Exodus 4 and 20. And Moses took his wife and his sons and set them upon an ass, and he returned to the land of Egypt, and Moses took the rod of the Most High in his hand. All right? That was the precept. Acts 7 and 30. And when 40 years were expired, there appeared to him in the wilderness of Mount Sinai an angel of the Lord in a flame of fire in a bush. Okay, let me grab that precept. Exodus 3 and 2. And the angel of the Lord, actually, let me start at the top. Exodus 3 and 1. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of the Most High, even to Horeb. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. Because he's looking at a fiery bush. Why is it not being burnt? Okay, why is there not ashes underneath it? Why is it continuing to be engulfed in fire? Exodus 3 and 4. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, the Most High called unto him out of the midst of the bush, and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. Okay? So he's talking about the Lord, saying the bush, the place where the Lord was holy ground. Okay? This is the book of Exodus 3 and 6. Moreover, he said, I am the Most High of thy father, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon the Most High. Okay? Hey, book of Exodus 3 and 10. Now come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moses said unto the Most High, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And he said, Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve the Most High upon this mountain. And Moses said unto the Most High, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The power of your fathers have sent me unto you. And they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? And the Most High said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you. And the Most High said, Moreover, okay? So the Lord's name is not I am that I am, okay? He's saying, tell him that I sent you, and moreover, this is my name. And he didn't say, my name is Jesus, all right? He didn't say that. Or my name is God, okay? They spoke Hebrew, okay? It's the book of Exodus 3 and 15. And the Most High said, Moreover, unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Yahweh, power of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, have sent me unto you. This is my name forever, okay? He never changed his name to Jesus, or he never changed his name to I'm God, Okay? No, his name is Yahweh. Okay?
Okay.
Paleo Hebrew. Okay? You need to do your research.
Yeah.
Has sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. Okay? And when you look at the etymology of that word, the Lord, in all caps, it goes back to Yahweh. Okay? It's not God. All right? It's Yahweh. Okay? But not everyone's going to hear the name, but I got to do the work. It's the book of Exodus chapter 7 and 31. When Moses saw it, he wondered at the sight, and as he drew near to behold it, the voice of the Lord came unto him, saying, I am the power of thy fathers, the power of Abraham, and the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. Then Moses trembled and durst not behold. Then said the Lord to him, put off thy shoes from thy feet, for thy place where thou standest is holy ground. I have seen the affliction of my people, which is in Egypt, and I have heard their groaning, and am come down to deliver them. And now come, I will send thee into Egypt. Okay? Just like what's going on now, because you're living in the modern day Egypt. Okay? The modern day Sodom. Okay? And we crying out. I won't say everyone's crying out to the Lord. Some people are singing, but I'm not singing. I'm crying out to the Lord so he can destroy this place. Okay? So he can destroy Babylon. Because that's the Lord's will. He built this place up so it can be destroyed. And he can kill 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans because y'all are wicked. And you need to die. Okay? Thus says the Lord. Even though you think the Lord just loves everybody, he going to show you who he really loves. He loves 1/3, the elect from the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? It's the book of Acts chapter 7 and verse 34. 35, Salakia. This Moses whom they refused, saying, whom made thee a ruler and a judge. The same did the Most High, send to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel which appeared to him in the bush. Okay, I got a precept going back to Exodus, the 14th chapter. Okay, in verse number 19. Book of Exodus, chapter 14 and 19. And the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. Okay? He's talking about that pillar. Talking about those chariots. Okay? Talking about the clouds. Okay? These are chariots of the Lord. Okay? It's the book of Acts 7 and verse. Actually, give me another precept. Numbers 20 and 16. It's the book of Numbers, chapter 20 and verse 16. And when we cried unto the Lord, he heard our voice and sent an angel and have brought us forth out of Egypt. And behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border. Let's keep going. It's the book of Acts 7 and 36. He brought them out after that he had showed wonders and signs in the land of Egypt and in the Red Sea and in the wilderness 40 years. Okay? Because you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all were in the wilderness for 40 years. It don't take that long to come out of Egypt and go into Israel. It shouldn't take 40 years. But no, you guys are so stiff-necked. You guys are so hard-headed. Y'all wanted to build a calf because y'all are fully given over into idolatry. And y'all still doing idolatry today. That's why your people are destroyed. All right? And the men of these tribes, y'all are weak. Y'all don't stand up for the Lord. There's a lot of devils out here, and you ain't rebuking them. And the Lord gave us the power to do so. So no matter how many demons come up to the altar, we're going to curse them all. It's the book of Acts, chapter 7, and verse 37. This is that Moses, which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me, him shall ye hear. Chase, give me another precept. Let's jump over there to Acts 3 and verse, hold on, Salakia. This is the book of Acts. Acts chapter 3 In verse 22, for Moses truly said unto the fathers, a prophet shall the Lord your power raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall ye hear in all the things whatsoever he shall say unto you. Okay? Let's jump back to Acts chapter 7 and verse 38. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness, with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us, to whom our fathers would not obey, but thrust him from them, and in their hearts turned back again to Egypt. Okay? Y'all didn't want to follow Moses. Okay? You were scared to talk to the Lord. Moses went and spoke on your behalf. He came back, brought the law, statutes, and commandments, and y'all said, what the hell with that? I ain't following no law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? Lord said you're supposed to keep a beard on your face. Where's your beard? Where's your fringes? Huh? Why are you eating pork? That's a commandment for the Lord, for his children not to eat pork. So when he comes back and finds your ass with swine in your body, in your vessel, he's going to put you to death for that. He ain't going to say, oh, I love you and be happy to see you. He's going to burn you with fire. All right? You're going to go through the second death. Just like he did with Noah. When he had the water, that was the first death. He's coming with a second one. All right? And a lot of y'all ain't going to make it. I don't care what your pastor tells you. All right? Because he's telling you a lie. And he's doing it for filthy lucre's sake. All he cares about is the money. All right? He'll deceive you stiff-necked, hard-headed, non-obedient Israelites. He ain't telling you who's Israel. That's the only people that matter in this whole world. Okay? This is the book of Acts chapter 7 and verse 40, saying unto Aaron, make us gods to go before us, for as for this Moses, which brought us out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. Right. Moses said, it's gonna take me 40 days, I'll be right back. And what the Israelites do, they said, let's build a calf, okay? Because y'all lack faith, all right? Just like when the Lord died on the cross, y'all are fully given over to folly, stupid shit, all right? Y'all think the Lord ain't coming back. That's why our people are destroyed, all right? You don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, you're gonna look just like this brother. He got a bunch of demons on him, all right? Because he ain't following the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why Esau's white ass can pull your ass over and put you to death. Because the Lord sent that devil over here to put your ass to death. When the devil put his knee on your neck, just know the Lord sent it. Y'all don't want to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. A lot of y'all think y'all are women. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Y'all are fully giving over. Y'all let your women rule over you, all right? Who said the woman's supposed to rule over you, okay? This damn devil said that you put the women over you, all right? And you allow these whores to rule over you. That's a curse, all right? It's the book of Acts, chapter 7, and verse 41. And they made a calf in those days and offered sacrifice unto the idol and rejoiced in the works of their own hands. Then the Most High turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven. And y'all still worship the host of heaven. Y'all still worship Diana, who in modern day times, they call it Mother Mary. You see a bunch of, most of y'all, what do you call them? I forgot what gang, some Spanish gang. They wear that. They got tattoos of this woman on them. And you know what they do? They sacrifice children. All right? And the Lord gonna put them to death too. Because they quick to do evil. They're very powerful in wickedness. But when it comes to righteousness, you got no power. You got no understanding. Okay? And you're not in your power. It's the book of Acts chapter 7 and verse 42. Then the Most High turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven. As it is written in the book of the prophets. O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness? 40 years in the wilderness, man. When Egypt is so close to Jerusalem, okay? You were going off. And he saved you with a miraculous salvation. He split the Red Sea for you. Okay? This time he said he's going to split the sky and he's going to destroy this devil. Okay? But you don't look at this man like your devil. You think he's your friend. You think there's no way in hell this damn devil Esau is in rulership. Okay? But he is. All right? And he's putting pork in everything you eat, even if you don't eat it, so we can accuse you to the Lord, so the Lord can put you to death. Okay? But you don't know the law, statutes, and commandments, so you don't have no defense for yourself. And you praying to an idol. This is the book of Acts, chapter 7 and verse 43. Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch. Moloch, they still go to Moloch. Don't these presidents in the U.S. go into the woods and they sacrifice kids to an owl? That's Moloch, okay? They still do that today. And if you going through abortions, that's another way of sacrificing the Moloch. He makes it acceptable. He makes it easy for you to do it, and you do it. Acts 7 and 43, yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you all way beyond Babylon. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, as he had appointed, speaking unto Moses, that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen, which also our fathers that came after brought in with Yahushua into the possession of the Gentiles, whom the Most High drave out before the face of our fathers unto the days of David, who found favor before the Most High and desired to find a tabernacle for the power of Jacob. But Solomon built him a house, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophets. Yeah, the Lord ain't dwelling in tabernacles made with hands, okay? And Stephen was telling this to that high priest, to say, when he said in Acts 7, the first chapter, okay? I know I've been going straight on trying to get these precepts out, but I'm trying to get this word out, okay? Acts 7 and 1, then said the high priest, are these things so? Okay, so he's asking them, you know, are you committing blasphemy? Are you saying that Yahushua of Nazareth is greater than Moses? Okay, are you saying this tabernacle, that's not, the Lord isn't dwelling in this big temple that we created? Okay, and he's telling them no. He wasn't scared of the persecution, okay? Just like when you see brothers on the highways, you might not think, okay, this is a man of the Lord. You might think it's a joke. It's all right. Because they didn't think Stephen was a man of the Lord, and they stoned him to death. Okay? It don't matter. Y'all didn't think Moses was a man of the Lord. Y'all didn't think Yahushua was a man of the Lord, or was the Lord. Okay? But then you're going to see who's really standing up for the Lord. Because the true Lord, the real Lord, if he was exalted in this day, that's where we get exalted. And then that's when they're going to know, yo, these men stood boldly for the Lord. Not these people. All these people could get put to death. None of them care about the Lord. Okay? They pray to the so-called white man, Esau. Okay? The terrorists. Well, you might look at me, oh, well, hey, you know, fuck that man over there. Why? Am I the one oppressing you? Am I charging you taxes? All right? Am I stealing your kids? No. That's Esau Edom. And you bowing the knee to him. And you don't know who Cesare Borgia is. All right? You don't know your history. You don't know about the Assyrian captivity. You don't know about Egypt. Okay? You don't know about any of these things. But you walk around here proud. Okay, you're dead, according to Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. You are those dry bones. You don't have the water. You don't have the Holy Spirit. It wasn't given to you. Even though the Lord has somebody come out week in, week out, teach you the truth, you can't absorb it. Okay? It's the book of Acts, chapter 7. And that's what Stephen's getting into. Stephen don't care about his life. You have no life. You own nothing. You're already dead. And you think you're alive. You work every single day. The so-called Mexican man, he work his damn bones down for this devil. All right? When he's Israel, that devil should be working for him. This is the book of Acts, chapter 7 and verse 44. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, and he had appointed, speaking unto Moses, that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen. Actually, hold on, Salakia. All right. Jump down to 48. Acts 7 and 48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Okay? So that might be blaspheming, okay? Telling them that the Lord doesn't dwell in temples made with hands. Okay? They try to flip that on Stephen. Acts 7 and 49. Heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord? Or what is the place of my rest? Have not my hand made all these things? Ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, ye do always resist the Holy Spirit. As your fathers did, so do ye. Yeah, as your fathers did, and you are your father. You are your father in the reincarnation. You're the same spirit that neglected the Lord then, and you're gonna neglect the Lord now. Okay? It's the book of Acts 7 and 52. Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? And they have slain them which showed before of the coming of the just one, of whom ye have been now the betrayers and murderers, who have received the law by the disposition of angels and have not kept it. Actually, that's a good precept. Let me go grab that. Second Chronicles 36 and verse number 16. But they mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people till there was no remedy. Therefore he brought upon them the king of the Chaldees, who slew their young men with the sword in the house of their sanctuary, and had no compassion upon young man or maiden, old man, or him that stooped for age. He gave them all into his hand. Okay? Yeah, y'all mark the messengers. Y'all mark the prophets. Okay? It's the book of Acts 1, 7 and 53. Who have received the law by the disposition of angels and have not kept it. When they heard these things, they were cut to the heart, and they gnashed on him with their teeth. Yeah, they were mad about him bringing out the truth. Okay, showing them that it's not about your temple. Okay, y'all persecuted all the prophets, and now y'all persecuting him. It's the book of Acts 7 and verse 55. But he, being of the Holy Spirit, looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of the Most High and Yahushua standing on the right hand of the Most High, and said, Behold, I see the heavens open and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of God. Okay, that's the Son of Man talking about Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Okay, who was a so-called black man, by the way. And you can read about that in Revelations 1 and 14. Okay? It said his head and his hairs were white like wool. And his feet, let me go grab it. I don't want to misquote it. But y'all think this book is a joke. It's the book of Revelation 1 and 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet, your feet are the same color as the rest of your body. And his feet like unto the fine brass. Brass is brown, as if they burned in a furnace. When you burn something, it gets darker. And his voice as the sound of many waters. Yeah, he was loud. Okay? The Lord wasn't speaking like, oh, I love you, quietly hugging and having kids sit on his lap, like the so-called white man. Okay? I just wanted to bring that up. Let's go back to Acts 7 and verse 56. And said, behold, I see the heavens open and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of the Most High. Then they cried out with a loud voice. The book of Acts, chapter 7, and verse 57. Then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears and ran upon him with one accord. And they cast him out of the city and stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their clothes at a young man's feet, whose name was Saul. And they stoned Stephen, calling upon the Most High and saying, Lord Yahweh shall receive my spirit. And he knelt down and cried with a loud voice, Lord, lay not this sin to their charge. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. Okay? See? And notice that it said he fell asleep, but he stood boldly for the Lord. Okay? He knew about the Bible. He knew about his history. The high priest knew about his history too. But they had to cast false witnesses against him to put him to death. Just like they're going to do with the true men of the Lord. Okay? Them bringing out the truth, you got to be willing to die for the truth. Okay? Or you're going to continue to live a lie. There's 100,000 people in the city of Lynn. Where are the men of the Lord? Okay? Why ain't everyone on the highways and byways teaching the truth? But everyone claims that they love the Lord, but they love an idol. They don't know the Bible. Yeah, you don't know the Bible. And Saul is Paul. Okay? But Lord willing, that was edifying. I'm going to end it right there by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom, brothers.